The final of the event. Let's go! Earlier in the Avengers, Captain America uses the Infinity Gauntlet, but the Illuminati don't like it, and he's erased his memory, but he turns out he remembers everything, and takes them back to the future for 48 years, where they meet future versions of themselves, but then the time stone works again, and moves them further into the future in 422 years where Cap's eye has been injected with a bomb. And then for 5,045 years in the future Franklin tells Rogers that how he feels killing his brothers. Then in the distant future Cap knows what's going to happen next. Iron Man catches Steve and tells him he's gonna be fine. They move into eternity where Man says he has two news. The first is that the journey through time is coming to an end. And the second one's a little confused. Cap thinks Tony's gonna explain it to him, but it's not Stark. It turns out to be Kang. Cap knows him, he's the Iron Lad, and Steve wants him to tell what the hell is going on. It all started with Steve destroying the Stone of Time, and this action eventually moved him to the future, to the very end. They go down the stairs somewhere, and Steve asks Kang if he's right. Kang tells him to think about it, and he starts to understand what it is. Each epoch has a common trait. In each of them there are Avengers. Avengers are everywhere, and it's not surprising that Steve is here, because that's the end. Cap is watching the last days of the last Avenger, but Steve thinks who he is. It's them, Kang and Immortus. The captain is confused about this, but he is asked to believe it, and that they are approaching the event. Cap likes him, but he's not going to trust Kang or Immortus. Iron Lad asks him to trust him. He asks Steve to stretch out his hand, then the time stone appears and Immortus says they have a chance. They're all activating their weapons. They're shooting at the stone. They did it. They caught time in the capsule of timelessness, thus eliminating the only value of the crystal. Steve is wondering where the stone would take him if that was the end. That's what they want to talk about and what's really going on here. Immortus tells Cap that he doesn't even know what he's got into, and Steve has a good idea. Kang says if he had an idea, it's have been necessary. Rogers knows about the invasions and how he travels, but he doesn't know anything about Earth, the Illuminati, and himself. Cap and everyone else are not the cause of all this nightmare, but they found the real cause. They're in a time loop, and that's why they remember everything. They'll let Cap go back to the past to fix it. They want Steve to stay here so he doesn't interfere with what's going to happen. Kang says it's not that simple, and that Cap is just an extinct ideology. Cap says he's tired of it and that they don't understand what he thinks. He helps helpless people and just saves them. Kang and Immortus say that nobody cares about it here and that they and Cap have no way to get out of here. The Iron Lad also stands on the side of Kang and Immortus and says that Steve thinks is the past. Steve's sorry he can't get the past back. Cap recalls a conversation with old Clint that when Steve gets to the end he has only two options, either to do nothing or to help Stark, but there is another option to kill Stark. Cap flips the shield, and Immortus thinks he's flying into it and turning around, but it wasn't flying at all. The shield gets into the capsule where the time stone is and Steve gets it. Cap learned a lesson from all this and remembered who he was, and now he knows how it's gonna end. The present, the Avengers Tower, the All Avengers is in Stark's lab, and the Starbrand asks how long they have to sit here. Clint and Natasha say they have to wait right here. After 3 hours, nothing happens, but Cap appears. Steve says he's got his eyes opened, and now he has an idea. Cap wants those who respond and wants to devote them to what's going on, and then catch all the members of Reed and Tony's secret society. Turns out their friends have become the worst enemies they've ever known.